Hello family, in this video we are going to look at signs that show the 2021 housing market is changing. And depending on your perspective, you may take this as a positive or negative, but I'll let you decide for yourself. Let's jump into it. But before we do, go ahead and hit that like button. I really appreciate it and it helps YouTube to know that I'm providing value to you. For months now, actually pretty much since late fall of 2020, the housing market has been crazy. I mean, like literally insane. And prior to the beginning of 2020, the housing market has been on a 6 to 8 year boom, depending on where you are in this country. And it slowed down just a little bit during March to June of 2020 because everything was shut down and we were just trying to figure out how to navigate through this new normal. But since late fall of 2020, it has seemed as if nothing could slow down the American housing market. Interest rates are low, people are wanting more space, jobs are allowing people to work remotely, so Americans wanted to take advantage of this opportunity and move and buy properties that were larger and had more outdoor space. But the housing market tide may be beginning to turn, however slightly. Over the past 3 weeks to about a month, the rate of price growth has begun to slow and fewer buyers are actually seeking new purchase mortgages. Yes, competition for homes is still present, but there seems to be less competition and buyers aren't jumping over as many hoops to get their offer accepted. And there's more inventory on the market compared to earlier this year, so that allows buyers to be more choosy and picky regarding what homes to make an offer for. The market is topping out, says Mark Zandi, the chief economist at Moody Analytics. It's starting to show cracks. It feels like we've hit the apex and we're moving on the other side of it. Now, I personally don't agree entirely with Mark, but all real estate is local, and what my market here in Charlotte is doing may not be in line with the data that Mark is looking at. But some people who hear the market is topping out and starting to show some cracks may interpret that as there being a housing crash on the horizon or that the housing bubble is about to burst. But when I hear that the market is topping out, I smile because that means there will be more opportunities for the average person. So please, let's reel it in because the crash you're expecting isn't coming and housing economists and experts tend to agree with me. Now, the market softening doesn't mean crash. It means that things are becoming more normal. Houses will begin to sit on the market weeks, not days, not hours, not minutes. In fact, this is what I predict will become more and more typical in the short term. You will have sellers putting their home on the market, overprice it, and expect to sell it in hours because for the past 4 months, those sellers have heard all the news about how hot the housing market is, but their home will sit on the market for a few days and receive 1, maybe 2 offers, and then the sellers will get frustrated at their real estate agent because their home isn't selling just like their neighbors did 6 weeks ago. Well, this is what happened. Earlier this year, homes that had no business selling for ridiculous prices, sold at those high prices because there wasn't any competition on the market, yet buyers wanted to buy, and they had the means to buy, and they were determined to buy right then and there. The A1 buyers who had cash to win bidding wars and able to come out of pocket if the property did not appraise has already bought. Those buyers got the property that they wanted. So the sellers on the market are now left with the buyers who are more, let's say, limited or challenged. Now, these buyers are limited in the sense that they don't have the mounds of cash to give sellers for due diligence deposit, earnest money deposit, and to make up the huge difference that there may be between the contract price and the appraisal amount. So because the buyers on the market now, generally speaking, don't have as much access to liquid capital, these sellers are left with less offers, and these offers aren't crazy above asking price. Now, to put things into perspective, while the housing market may have slowed down a little bit in terms of the number of sales, the median home list price is still 12% higher than they were this time last year. However, sellers must also take into account that many buyers are now priced out of the market. Where I am in Charlotte, North Carolina, I have about 10 buyers who are looking for a home that has 3 or more bedrooms and has a garage, but under $250,000. And I checked the MLS just now before making this video, and there are only four available homes that fit that description on the market right now. So there will be tons of competition for properties that are priced at the median price or below. But to those sellers who have homes that are priced above the median price for your area, you sellers may see a drop in activities and offers. That doesn't mean the home will not sell for that higher price. It just means you will not get a flood of offers that come in all at once. Now, I mentioned earlier that home list price is up 12% year over year. And while that is amazing, it's actually less than it was last month. Last month, the year over year median home price increase was 17%. So that strengthens my belief that the market is taking a bit of a shift and starting to cool off just a bit. Another factor for why I believe the housing market is shifting is that there are fewer buyers getting new home mortgages to buy homes. The number of purchase mortgages dropped 14.2% year over year in the week ending June 18th, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. Now, the market may be softening and more inventory may be coming available on the market, but that doesn't mean that prices are going to come down anytime soon. Now, while prices will not be coming down, there may not be the double-digit appreciation, but there will be appreciation nonetheless. And this is why. Home prices are unlikely to drop because of the laws of supply and demand. There are still more people who want to buy homes than there are places for them to live. Builders have been unable to build fast enough, and builders face their own challenges such as labor issues, supply chain delays, and lumber prices. A couple other reasons why you won't see prices come down is because of low interest rates along with lenient debt to income ratios. Those two factors alone will cause housing prices to continue to increase or at worst level off. And according to Realtors.com chief economist Danielle Hale, he says that prices are still at record highs and she expects them to hit another record or two this summer. Sellers are expected to keep the prices elevated because remember, just 6 weeks ago, they saw their neighbor's home sell for crazy amounts. And they're thinking to themselves, look, my home is in better condition and it has an extra bedroom and I probably just remodeled the kitchen. So there's absolutely no reason why I should not get at least as much, if not more, than what my neighbor received. So presently, sellers have not adjusted their expectations and they may hold out for more money. And in fact, if they don't get the bidding wars that they envisioned, they could just take their home off the market. But let's move on to another reason why I believe the housing market is beginning to soften. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about this reason. And the reason is offices are opening back up and employers are expecting and wanting their employees to be physically back in the facilities. So having to go back into the office will deter buyers from buying homes that are further out from the workplace because that means they will have to face longer driving commutes. Also, some buyers may not need that additional space now that kids are going back to in-person school in the fall. The reality is the housing demand went crazy when everyone realized that their home was not only their home, but it had to be their office, their gym, and their kids' school. So if the home goes back to being just the home, the demand for homes that could accommodate being all those other things will decline. Another factor that's causing the housing market to soften is the high prices. Now, while it is true, higher priced homes are selling at rates they've never seen before, but the average American family can't afford those insane prices, and the median home price right now is actually more expensive than a lot of potential home buyers are willing to pay or more than they can afford. People who I've spoken with want space, they want a new home, but they don't want to be house poor. Look, America is opening back up and people want to be able to afford and live life. They want to go to concert, festivals, and go on vacation. And if their mortgage is too large, that takes away from their budget to be able to enjoy the other things in life. So whether you're in the market to buy or sell a property, make sure you understand these dynamics at play in the housing market. Every housing market is different, so be sure to contact a local real estate professional to help you navigate through your local market. And if you're in North or South Carolina, please reach out to my team and I. I'm Sir Ashley. Talk soon.